Alright, here we have a 93 Chevy truck, 4-wheel drive, so we're on our snow plows. We've got a lot of play in the steering wheel. Not just this, but how it wiggles back and forth. We're going to get all that. Here's some tools that we're going to need for this job. This right here is your ring collapser, your steering wheel puller, and a couple of adapters. I just got a couple different hook tools, little picks. You need those to get the C-clips off. Just some screwdrivers. This is a Torx bit screwdriver. And then also some snap ring pliers. These ones work inward, and then these ones actually pull out. And these work real good for taking and releasing the snap ring, and then just some extra torque wrenches. So that's kind of what you're going to need to do this. So we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, go ahead and make sure you tighten these two bolts all the way down till they stop. Then back them off a quarter of a turn so they're not completely bottomed out. And snug this down. This is your steering wheel puller. I like to use an impact. Some people will do that by hand. I don't recommend it because then you're going to twist it. So just hit it with your impact. And there you go. Okay, now that we've removed the steering wheel, just leave that in there for now. Let's get that out of the way. That was a lot easier than trying to do it by hand. We've done it by hand before, and it's very tough. This right here is for your horn. Just pull that out, and you can see it's already broke. So just kind of normal that they break. They just get old and deteriorated. There's a little clip in here, so we're going to go ahead and put the other tool on there that's going to push this down so that we can release that clip. We'll do that next. Alright, our next step is here. This is your snap ring retainer tool. And it's just got a couple little adapters. We're going to use this one. This we're not going to use. Just set that aside. So you're going to put that in like this. And you can get these at AutoZone or Checker, any auto supplier. Take this. There's some threads right here that your lock nut holds it down. Put that in like that. Just tighten it down until it bottoms out. And then you want to slide this down here, and then you just push it down. Alright, here, check this out. You can see how loose this is. See how much it moves? That's what we're trying to fix. I mean, it adjusts. Even your gauges here are moving. So we want to try to fix all of that. The tilt's normal, you know. It's still solid tilt, but it's the fact that it moves back and forth. So I've adjusted this all down. As you can see, there's a clip in there, and then you just push this down. Just a couple little turns. Just enough to get the pressure off that clip, and it'll bottom out. That's about all you got to do. Okay, we remove this Torx bit. You also got one up here, and that holds this lock plate in place. There is a spring behind it, so it has a little bit of pressure, but not too much. So then that just pops right out. Alright, what we have here, we've got the steering wheel off, got the lock plate off. This right here is the canceling cam, part of the canceling cam, and this is actually for the horn. And it rubs on here so that as the steering wheel rotates, you always have contact and your horn works no matter what position your steering wheel is in. So that we're going to take out of the way. And then this is for your blinker. And this just connects to this, is actually called your canceling cam. And these break quite oftenly on these Chevys. They're just pretty notorious because there's just not a lot of plastic in there. They break really easy. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull that out of the way. Just get that little lever out of the way, and it connects right inside here. I always put all my stuff in a little Ziploc bag so I don't lose it. And I'm going to go ahead and take this piece off. There's 3 screws for this. And then there's one that's on the hazard switch. So I'm just going to show you where those 3 are. This is your locking mechanism for your key. You put your key in, this locks inside that plate. So you have a locking steering wheel. If these are sheared off, then your lock won't work. So let's go ahead and take those 3 things off. And then there's also one right here for your hazard switch. Okay, on this next clip, I want to show you this wire is what goes up to that switch that we just had. We need to just push it up and give us some slack. So hopefully you can see. You can unhook this if you'd like, then that way you have more slack, but you really don't need to. Just need to give yourself enough play enough play so that you can move this thing out of your way. All right, we went ahead and just kind of pulled this up and out of the way by giving us some extra slack there in the bottom of that wire. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and take off the key buzzer. Just grab some needle nose pliers. That should pull right out. Get that out of the way. I believe this is a T20. This holds your tumbler key switch in. So just undo that. It's got to come all the way out. It's got a long pin, and then this should just pull right out. And then that's how you replace that, and just get a new one from either the dealer or AutoZone, Check, or whatever. And just put a new key in there. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And then we're going to take these 3 T30s out and remove this whole cluster and also this piece. Alright, we're just going to go ahead and grab these bolts out. We've loosened them all up. These are those T30s that hold this whole case on. Just take those out of your way. This whole thing should slide up. There's, you got to kind of work the hazard switch out of the way. Get that kind of, everything seems to fall apart. This just twists out. Sometimes they're on there pretty tight. You just got to thread them out. So we're just going to go ahead and undo this. So, okay, we've already removed this spring in here. And basically the way you got to do that, to remove that, is you just take your tilt. I did that already. You just take your tilt and tilt it all the way up, and then that spring, and just twist it, push it in and twist it, and it'll pop right out. Not a lot of pressure, but if you have it like this, there's a lot of pressure. So go ahead and take this one off. We've already taken this pin off of the other side. We're going to go ahead and show you how to do it with this one. So here's the pin that came out of the other side on the over here. I'm just going to set that out of our way. I'm going to show you how to set this up. So just take this, put it inside there, thread it all the way in. Make sure it goes in straight. So thread it all the way in. So you get all the threads in there. And just take this little half dial, tighten that down like that. Take your little wrench and then just tighten it down, and it'll start pulling it out. It's not a lot of pressure in here, and when we're done, we're just going to hit it in with the hammer. Just a little metal hammer. Once you get this other pin out, everything should just fall apart. Be able to pull everything right out and get the knuckle out. So we'll go ahead and undo this, and we'll come back and show you how it comes apart. Okay, once you've got the pins out, you've got the spring pulled out, you need to put your tilt lever back in, because there's 2 little feet in here that hold this. So you got to tilt it back, it releases them, and then that thing should come out. Alright, we have 4 bolts in here. These are the ones that back off a lot. I just got this at Sears, Sears Grand. It's a Torx. They're called E-bits, the E6 through 16. That's what you want to use to get these bolts off, because they're reverse Torx. So you just take that. I recommend you take the bolts completely out and put some red Loctite on them, and they should never back out. But I just want to show you how loose they are. So this is how much play we have in the wheel. So I'm just going to snug it down. This is really what, these things are notorious for loosening up. But now I've only tightened 2 of them. See how snug, I can't even move it now, and I've only tightened the 2 of them. So, but I'm going to pull them back out and put Loctite in there so that they don't back out. But now look at our steering column, it's solid. Okay, after you get done removing all that stuff, I just went ahead and cleaned this up with some degreaser and just kind of sprayed it out, get all the bugs and junk out of there. So what we do is it's just got these little tabs. You just go in, push it in, and then slide it, and that's locked in. You're done.